Yo, 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 what's going on, good people? It's your homie Herb Man, and you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. So what is bioresonance, okay? And what can it do for us? A lot of us don't understand bioresonance. We've never heard of bioresonance therapy, but it has been utilized for hundreds of years in places like Russia, in places like Asia, and also too, the chiropractic community is starting to utilize this type of technology. And so even though I'm about herbs and I'm about ancient technology, I think that some of these modern technology things that we've created can also enhance the ability of what kind of herbs we need to use for what particular situations and allow us to pinpoint exactly where we at in our health conditions. So bioresonance to me is a preventive medicine technology, preventive medicine tool that we can use to for early detection or for some of the things that we may be predisposition to have, whether it be based on our medical history or our family history. And it also too can detect some actual issues that are going on in your body. So it's just not for early detection. It could detect exactly what you may be going through now. And then that gives us a slew of different methodologies that we can go through to try to help you with your situation. And so that's what bioresonance therapy actually does. But as you get to the nuts and bolts of it, it's about resonating with the frequencies of our bodies, okay? And all of our bodies, all of our organs let off a particular resonance, okay? A frequency, all right? A vibration. And what this particular tool does is it picks up on those vibrations, it picks up on those frequencies, and it let us know whether it's at the right frequency, at a low frequency, at a high frequency. And based on those frequencies, you have situations where maybe those organs are doing very well, or maybe they're not doing so good, or maybe they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And what the bioresonance does is if you have low frequencies, that means those organs may be some problem areas, okay? And it may not necessarily mean that you have a problem in them now. It may mean that you could have a problem in them later, okay? But what bioresonance does is it elevates that frequency back to normality, okay? And in essence, it brings that organ back to proper operation, okay? Back to normality, back to where it should be. Does that mean that it cures you? Does that mean that it heals you? Well, that is left to be said, but it does mean that that organ has gotten back to normal operating conditions. And to me, that means that you should be fine, okay? So a lot of you guys don't know anything about it. I'm gonna try to take you through a process of it, dealing with myself on here. These are the headphones that you use, and basically you just put them on your head and you lay down, you sit down, and you do whatever, but there's no intrusion. It's unintrusive. You don't have to worry about pricking your fingers, somebody swiping you for saliva. You don't have to worry about blood tests. You don't have to worry about urination tests. You don't have to worry about feces testing. It's not that big of a deal. But what it does do is it still gives you more of a chronological, more of an in-depth detailed synopsis of what your body is going through, okay, from head to toe, male or female, all right? And you can do this on kids, you can do this on pets, you can do this with your medication. You can actually put your medication through bioresonance and it can let you know whether that medication is good for your body. You can put herbs on here and it will let you know whether those herbs are resonating with your body the way that they should be. It could tell you about food allergies. It could tell you about different phytotherapy, different herbs you can use for different situations that you may have going on. So this is a very in-depth tool. It's very expensive equipment, but at the same time, I think that it's very, very useful, especially moving forward in our health world. All right. So remember that the best medicine is self-medicine. All right. The best health care you can get is self-care. And so this is one of those tools that could definitely help you out in that arena. Without further ado, let's go ahead and see if we can get started, all right? So the first thing we do, we're gonna put on our headphones, and I don't know if you guys can see that screen, but that's the best I could do. And the first screen that comes up is how we receive our clients, all right? So it's the reception of clients, all right? You go up here and you put the patient or client in. And you put the name here. You basically filling out the patient card. So I'm filling out my card here. Herb man, 40 years old, male. And you hit OK. Now, as you can see here, it's giving you a diagram of your body and some of the pinpoints that we're going to go through for a male, okay? And that's the front side of your body, as you can see here, all right? And then that's the back side of the male's body. And so basically what we do here is chronicleize some of the complaints that a person may have, okay? So for us, we're going to say, pain in the arms, okay? Just to kind of, well, we're going to say pain in the joints. How about that? All right. We'll say pain in the joints. And we'll ask it to research. All right. And when it does its research, as you can see here, it's going to go through different things to try to figure out what may be going on in the pains of your joints. Now, right now, as you see it, it is going through my brain, and you hear that noise. That is what it is doing when it goes through my brain. It is basically surveying my body, okay? Now, for a normal session, it's going to take about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because it literally goes through every part of your body, okay? And not only that, with what we do here at Lethal Vital Essentials, is we not only go through the body, but we also provide some resonance therapy as well, which is why it may take about 2 hours for the first session. And then after that, it's we basically come in and just work on those parts and pieces of the anatomy that we've seen or deemed to be problem areas. And you know, that is going to be significantly shorter session. But you definitely want that to happen. So right now it's going through the coronary section of the chest. And what we're looking for is, if you can see here, these things here. So the first row is all good standing, all right? But when you get to the reds and the orange, the red, and the black, these are the areas you want to work on. So what we tend to look at first is the number 6, which is the black, okay? We work on the black areas first, and we try to get them to either a 1, 2, or a 3, okay? So you got 1, 2, 3, good, 4, 5, and 6, bad, all right? Now 6 is bad, 5 is, you know, you need to take precautions in that area. 4 is a little bit more milder condition, but 1, 2, and 3 is where you really want to be at. So during our therapy sessions, what we try to get you to do is get into that 1, 2, and 3 area, okay? And it may not take one day, it may not take 1 week, it may not take 1 month, all right? But over time, this will elevate those problem areas back into the 1, 2s, and 3s, and you should be feeling very well in those areas as you move forward. Again, it also too will let us know what kind of medication you need to take, if any, what kind of phytotherapy you need to take, if any, your food allergies, foods that you may need to stay away from based on what the technology has found in your system. And so it gives you the whole detail. It gives you the whole detail. And like I said, all you're doing is putting on these headphones. You can't hear anything in the headphones. So the frequency is so high that you can't hear anything. And that's resonating with your body. Okay, that's resonating with your organs. You can't hear your organs, but they are resonating. And so this mimics that. You can't hear anything in here, but it's resonating with the organs, okay? And what it's doing now is an analysis. And so what you see here, if you can't see it, when it go back to that screen, you'll see some green and you'll see some red. Now what we look for is the darker red color, almost like, you know, purplish kind of red. And those are the areas that we know we need to heighten back up to at least getting into the green, okay? And that's here. So I have some red areas, but no dark red areas as of yet. Right now we're talking about the pelvic organs. So yes, man, it does go down into the pelvic region, the testes, the prostate, everything. Everything. Females, it does the breast, it does the uterus, it does, everything. It goes through every inch of your body, all the way down to the cells. Okay, this thing it literally surveys your cells, which is very good as far as cancer research. All right, knowing what you may be predisposition to have. Right now, we're in the horizontal section of the pelvic cavity, and this is at the level of the prostate. Okay, so we have areas there to do it. So very good, as you can see, at going through everything. I'm gonna try to see if I can stop it here. Because I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted you guys to see what this technology really, really does. And from a herbalist standpoint, from an herbalism standpoint, it allows us to be more specific with what kind of herbs that we may need to, prescribe to you, or we may need to suggest to you, as far as what some of the things you may be dealing with, or even some of the stuff that you didn't even know that you were dealing with, or need to look out for. And so that's one of the great things about modern technology. And that's why I love this particular technology. I think that it goes hand in hand, especially when, we're not technically doctors or anything like that. So we have to get information that is very suggestive, that's very helpful. We can't use things like cure and heal, but we need to get as close as possible to what our clients or what our customers are dealing with. And so this is one of those tools for us to do that. And so that is really why I like this particular um, technology here. I'm gonna stop it here, and let's just say we go into. Everything is pretty good right now. You guys can't see that, but it's all green and a couple of reds. So I just go to a red, just to kind of show you what it does. All right, and basically when I go there, I go to frequency therapy. Now this is the part where you're actually going to try to change some of the things that may be wrong here. So I don't have any blacks here, but we do have some number fives here, which is your diamonds. And so basically what I would do is start the therapy, and as you can see, it pulsates and starts the therapy. Now this is when it is heightening the frequency in these particular areas, okay? And it's changing the frequencies of the bad areas or of the low frequency areas, okay? And it's bringing them back up, okay, to where they should be. And this is the best thing about bioresonance, okay? Non-intrusive therapy, really, really detailed, really helps us pinpoint what foods you need to stay away from, what medications you need to stay away from, what herbs you need to utilize to get you back into proper health conditions. All right. So I'm your homie Herb Man. I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. If you want to know more about bioresonance, hit us in our email at leafovitessentialsinc@gmail.com, or continue to follow us on Instagram, Facebook at Leafovite Essentials INC. We even on Twitter at Love Herb Man. Hey, go tell somebody your homie is on. And until next time, peace. Yes, sir.